all disease comes from the gut. 100% of people with an autoimmune disease have leaky gut. 100% of people with coronary artery disease have leaky gut. 100% of people with dementia, brain fog, or diabetes have leaky gut.
In this video, we will get to know about leaky gut, which may be a cause to many diseases. We will learn from the expert in the field, Dr. Steven Gundry, MD, a distinguished heart surgeon with a remarkable career spanning over 10,000 successful heart surgeries and the development of numerous patented medical devices. Transitioning from surgical practice, Dr. Gundry now devotes to empowering individuals to sidestep surgery through a unique nutritional approach. As a New York Times best-selling author, Dr. Gundry has authored influential works such as Dr. Gundry's Diet Evolution in 2008, followed by the bestseller, The Plant Paradox, The Hidden Dangers of Healthy Foods That Cause Disease and Weight Gain in 2017, and the accompanying The Plant Paradox Cookbook, published in 2018. As the founder and director of the International Heart and Lung Institute as well as the Center for Restorative Medicine in Palm Springs and Santa Barbara, California, Dr. Gundry, a robust and vibrant 73-year-old himself, extends his reach through his clinic, blog, YouTube channel, and supplement company. In this video, our Healthy Long Life channel summarizes the essence of Dr. Gundry's teachings on leaky gut syndrome, exploring its definition, primary causes, and strategies for alleviating autoimmune conditions. Additionally, we list out top 5 food Dr. Gundry advises us not to eat, but he will also share the best cooking methods and alternatives to overcome leaky guts. Don't miss the last part on top fruits that are approved by Dr. Gundry that can be part of your diet.
What leaky gut is. When you eat food, it goes down to your stomach to get broken down. This process unlocks the nutrients in the food, and then the broken down food travels to your gut, where the unlocked nutrients gets absorbed through the intestinal wall. But there's other stuff in the food that shouldn't get absorbed, such as pathogens, contaminants, and other bad stuff you don't want in your body. This is where your gut lining comes in. Also known as your intestinal epithelium, this lining acts as a filter, letting good stuff through and keeping bad stuff out. But when your gut lining gets weak, which happens on many modern diets, little holes start forming in the lining and bad stuff gets through. The stuff that makes it through these holes triggers a cascade of unhealthy immune activity in your body. The result is serious damage to your health on all fronts. Digestive trouble, heart problems, faster aging, weight gain, countless health conditions can be traced back to leaky gut.
Let's quickly get to understand our gut.
The lining of our gut is simply our skin turned inside out. The surface area of the lining of our gut from our mouth down to our anus is the same surface area as a tennis court. That big. We have a design flaw. That surface area is only 1 cell thick. So everything we swallow, all the bacteria in us, all the foods in us, are only 1 cell away from us. Those cells, because they're so important, are held together with what are called tight junctions.
Then, how do we measure the leaky gut?
Simple blood tests that can be done to actually quantify the amount of leaky gut you have. And there are simple blood tests that can quantify how sensitive you are to the factors that cause leaky gut. So you want to look at anti-zonulin IgG, anti-actin IgG, and anti-LPS IgG. LPS is lipopolysaccharides. These are the classic for looking at leaky gut.
2 causes of leaky gut which are frequently mentioned by Dr. Steven Gundry are lectins and glyphosate. Let's first get to know lectins.
It's a dangerous plant protein designed to poison you. You see, plants don't want to be eaten. So instead they make lectins to make predators sick, in hopes that the next time they'll pass by that plant and eat something else. When they find a good spot to land, they cling to these cells, breaking down their ability to communicate with our immune system and then ripping them to pieces, which could lead to things like leaky gut, a weaker immune system, weight gain, food poisoning, and so much more.
Next, what is glyphosate?
What most people don't realize is that all of our food is just drenched in glyphosate. All of our conventional crops are sprayed with glyphosate. It's not a GMO product anymore. So all of our wheat's sprayed with glyphosate, all of our oats. I mean, it's spread in our schools. We spray it on our sidewalks. Most California wines have glyphosate because it's sprayed between the rows. All fast food in the United States is loaded with glyphosate. Organic oats have huge amounts of glyphosate because it drifts from the field next door. So glyphosate, again, it's an antibiotic. And the weird thing about glyphosate, it can cause leaky gut all by itself. You don't need any other help.
But is there a solution in order to prevent leaky gut?
Now, the good news is all disease can be reversed when you seal your leaky gut.
So how do you prevent it? What modern diets are often missing is a special kind of fiber known as prebiotic fiber. Dietary sources of prebiotic fiber include Jerusalem artichokes, tiger nuts, Belgian endive, chicory, parsnips, and a lot of others. So when you eat prebiotic fiber, it goes down to your gut and helps your microbiome protect your gut lining and control what your body absorbs. It feeds friendly bacteria in your gut, your microbiome. These bacteria then use the fiber to make butyrate, which nourishes and strengthens your gut lining. Strong gut lining means no more leaky gut. This means better digestion, better health, and a longer, happier life. So, make sure you get your prebiotic fiber every day and say goodbye to leaky gut.
Now let's look at what we should not eat in order to stop leaky gut.
But we just basically take troublemaking foods away from people. We're taking away the foods that, number one, we were never designed to eat.
And there are 5 categories of food you want to avoid at all costs.
Here are top 5 foods that Dr. Gundry advises us not to eat if we have or want to prevent leaky gut. However, if it is hard to avoid these foods, then Dr. Gundry further shares how to correctly prepare them to minimize taking those that cause leaky gut.
First, beans and legumes, including peanuts, lentils, and cashews. They carry more lectins than any other food, which is why eating undercooked beans makes so many people sick each year. So skip them entirely, or if you must eat foods like lentils,
Let's talk about how to prepare beans. So step 1, soak the beans in 2 changes of water, 3 to be safe. Change it out every couple hours, or better yet, do it overnight or even 24 hours. The water starts removing the lectins because some of them leach out into the water. So next, you put the beans in the pressure cooker, along with salt, pepper, and oil.
You can pressure cook lentils. There's several companies that pressure cook beans and lentils. Eden brand is one of them. Another one is called Jovial.
Besides pressure cooking, you can also ferment the beans.
The Incas didn't just cook quinoa. They knew how dangerous it was. So they let it rot. They fermented it. Then they cooked it, not on the package directions. The Italians, when they eat beans, soak it for at least 24 hours, sometimes 48 hours. And if you've ever soaked beans, you'll notice that this foam comes up top of the water.
Yep.
That's fermentation of the beans, and the lectins are on the skin of the bean. The fermentation, the bacteria, bless their little hearts, like to eat lectins. And so they do the work for us. So
Next food to avoid is grains.
grains. For the most part, grains are a relatively new food to us. Our hunter-gatherer ancestors didn't search for grains. Without processing, there was no way to eat them. Plus, most grains, even gluten-free grains, are lectin bombs, as well as those gluten-free grain substitutes.
For rice, you can resolve by pressure cooking the rice.
you could pressure cook white rice and use basmati rice, preferably.
However, for gluten,
You cannot destroy the gluten lectin with high heat and high pressure cooking. It will not break. And so that's why you see on my list, do not pressure cook wheat, rye, barley, and oats. It will not work.
out of grains, millets, and sorghum are ancient grains that are lectin-free and gluten-free.
So use millet or sorghum. They're hull-less. Oats have a protein that cross-reacts with gluten. There are no such thing as a glyphosate-free oats in this country. Sorghum and millet are great replacements.
The third type of food you should avoid to prevent leaky gut may surprise you. The nightshades.
The nightshades, tomatoes, potatoes, even eggplants. These lectin bombs are another leading cause of food poisoning, and they're closely related to some of the most poisonous plants on the planet.
However, since some of the nightshade vegetables may be staple in our kitchen, here is how you can prepare them correctly.
So for tomatoes, you want to peel the tomato with a serrated vegetable peeler, and they're really better on soft fruits than the straight blades. Or what you do is you actually score an X onto the bottom of the whole tomato, then drop it in a pot of boiling water for about 30 seconds. Then take the tomato out of the water, please use a spoon, and peel where it's beginning to peel away naturally, where you made the X. Then you cut the tomato in half and scoop out the seeds with a spoon. So to pressure cook your nightshades, just put them in the pressure cooker. You actually don't have to peel and deseed them, but that'd be nice. And put in some salt, pepper, minced garlic, and onions. Throw in a couple cups of water. Pressure cook for about 3 minutes once the pot reaches pressure. Then you release the pressure according to the instructions that came with your pressure cooker, and you're all set. For eggplant, peel the eggplant with a vegetable peeler. And there's serrated vegetable peelers now that are just fantastic. And then you cut it in half and you scoop out the seeds with a spoon. So for peppers, first cut the peppers in half, scoop out the seeds and the white membrane and throw them away. Roast the peppers in a very hot skillet or over an open flame until the skin is charred. So then you place the now roasted peppers in a paper bag and let them sit for about 5 minutes. And then you can just remove the skin by rubbing it with a paper towel. You can also try peeling the skin with a very sharp knife or with that vegetable peeler, but it's a lot more difficult.
Next, you would be surprised to hear that some fruits should be avoided. Here's why.
Fruit, especially out of season fruit. And remember, if it's got a seed, it's a fruit. So skip that pineapple, papaya, and strawberries in the winter. But also peppers and cucumbers. Remember, they're fruits too.
But here is the list of rules when it comes to eating fruits.
Stick to low sugar fruits. Only eat them in season. We have never been exposed to fruit 365 days a year in the past. Remember that fruit is nature's candy, and approach it as you would any other candy.
Also, here is a list of top 5 fruits that are approved by Dr. Gundry to minimize leaky gut.
With all that doom and gloom, let's get to the fruits we should eat. Now, berries, particularly raspberries and blackberries, really top the list. If you're going to get blueberries, get the frozen wild mountain blueberries or the small ones. Now, there is a fruit that you can eat year-round, and that's an avocado. An avocado is actually a single-seeded berry. And the good news about an avocado is that it's mostly monounsaturated fat and fiber, soluble fiber. Mulberries. Mulberries may be one of the best high polyphenol fruits there are. They are low sugar. They are prized in Middle Eastern and Asian foods because of their potent health benefits. They, once again, only last for a very short period of time, and during that time, they're perfectly safe to eat. Kiwi. Now, a trick is eat it with the skin. Cut the ends off and eat it like an apple. You will actually get tremendous polyphenol benefit out of that skin. And it'll take you just one time to get used to the hair, but it will become an enjoyable experience. So kiwi is actually one of the lowest, sugar-containing fruits. Finally, pomegranate seeds. Pomegranate seeds contain a really cool omega fat and have tremendous ability to uncouple and protect mitochondria. But here's the trick. Eat the seeds, not the juice. You're actually throwing away a lot of the health benefits that are in the seed, particularly the omega fat that's in it.
The final food that needs to be avoided to prevent leaky gut is squash.
Squash. Most squash are New World foods, which means our bodies did not evolve to eat them. Plus, they're heavy in lectins, so skip pumpkin, butternut squash, even zucchini whenever possible. And if you must eat squash, although I don't recommend it, peel it and take out the seeds first, because that's where the lectins are.